Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. If today is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. Welcome. Please do not make it your last. Kindly hit the subscribe button that you see down below. Enjoying the family. Okay. Now to my amazing returning viewers, my returning subscribers, you guys are the real MVPs. You guys, thank you so much for always coming back. I really do appreciate you. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking all things out on team as a new immigrant in Canada, specifically in Ontario. So if that sounds like something you really want to learn about, then please keep on watching. Here guys, a quick disclaimer, I am not an expert at these. As you all know, I'm a new immigrant here in Canada. I just recently landed and this is my first time ever apartment hunting in Canada. So whatever tips I share here, it's just based off of my own experience and what I've heard from lots of other new immigrants, okay? So and also, if you see me looking down, it's because I have my points listed here. I don't want to miss anything out. So yeah. So you just landed. Congratulations. But you cannot totally settle down unless you find a place to rest in, right? And now, most time, even there are some things that you want to do that you need to have like a permanent residence address. So that you will need your permanent residence address for. That is why finding an apartment is very, very key to your settling in after you land. Now, in case you're not as lucky as some other people who have family members or very close friends and relatives that can house them or accommodate them for a couple of weeks when they land, then you just might face the things that we encountered. But not to worry, I'm going to share my experience so that you are able to navigate your way through better. So when we landed, we rented an Airbnb. We stayed at an Airbnb and we paid for 12 nights. Now, we paid for 12 nights because, of course, we were looking at the cost and everything, and we were just very hopeful that we'll find a place before the expiration of this 12-day period or 13 days period. So, well, lucky for us, we did, but it was not as easy as just moving from one Airbnb straight to our apartment. And I'm going to tell you guys why. So immediately after we landed, we began our house search. And mind you, we already got information that, oh, it was not very easy finding a place as a new immigrant. So we were already, we kind of had that at the back of our minds. And at this point, reality had set in and we just needed a place to call home. Even if it was going to be for just 1 year or even a short period of time, like 6 months, we did not mind. We just needed a place to call our own for starters. So all those dreams of having a very nice place and all of that, we left that to the side. You guys, let me take you back a little bit. When after we had sent out our application years back, we began daydreaming. Every time we would always be watching videos of houses, apartments in Toronto. We were like, oh, we're gonna live downtown, we're gonna live in one of all these high-rise buildings and all of that. So we became so dreamy, and we're dreaming of when we land and eventually rent our beautiful condo apartment. That was the dream, you guys. And at that time, the housing market was not as bad as it is now. At that time, we were seeing apartments for like 1.6 and thereabouts. And so we were like, this is doable. We really wanted to have a condo apartment because we were like, we only live once. But when we landed and we hit with the reality of house hunting as new immigrants, we decided to do away with that dream, that aspiration, that dream. So at this point, we did not care with basement apartment, every type of apartment except for shared apartment. We were looking for them, we were applying to them, we were making inquiries about them, we were ready to take anything as long as it just provided shelter. So while we were searching, we were able to book slots to go view some of the apartments able to help us to, I was able to book a viewing for one apartment around North York. Now at this point, reality has set in. Before we were thinking we'll come in and be renting a place for like 1516 for a one bedroom apartment. We came here and the price range was between, for anything reasonable, was between 1.8 and 2,000. So we at this point we're like, hey, she money to reach so. So I was able to book us a viewing to go view one nice apartment at North York. I mean, it was not the best, but it was very nice. It looked okay, and we went there, viewed the place. Space wise, it was all right. Location wise, it was nice. Also, although the only downside to that apartment was the fact that it did not have an in-unit washer and dryer. But at this point, like I said, we no get choice. Our beggar no get choice. So we did not care. We just wanted to secure an apartment. After this year, we plan to now eventually look for a more fitting and more apartment. So we did not care what type of apartment. As far as, okay, they said no in-unit washer and dryer, right? But they said there was an in-building washer and dryer. So we're like, okay, no problem. So we viewed this apartment, and then while we were leaving the apartment, we asked the lady on how the application process, and she told us, that she was going to send us the link to apply. And I was like, all right. So when she mentioned all the things that we were going to be needing, some of them we could not provide because, of course, we are new here. We do not have a credit score. One major thing that they want in every apartment that you want to apply to is your credit score. So we told her we just landed, blah blah blah, and we did not have that. And she was like, okay. But we told her that we had a guarantor, and she was like, oh, if you have a guarantor, that's fine, and that she was going to send us the link to apply. You guys, I got home, no link. Next day, no link. I sent her a reminder, no link. This lady did not get back to us until days after. Mind you, we were racing against time. So immediately, by the next day, when I did not get what's it called, the link in my mail, I just knew that this lady doesn't want to send it to us because we are new. So we kept on looking, we kept on searching. Obi was able to also help us get viewing a slot to view 2 apartments. Thankfully, we were going to view those 2 apartments on the same day, and they were around downtown, so it was going to be us getting 2 beds with 1 story. And yeah, if you watch the vlog, you already know we are not able to view one, and then we went to view the other one, and I'm going to be showing clips of the other apartment that we eventually saw on that day. It was nice. That inside of the apartment was very nice, but it was not in a very lovely neighborhood. And coming from where we were staying at that Airbnb, like we already welcomed to a very nice environment, and now going to this place and seeing this place that, like, in my opinion, looks like Mushin of Canada. So I'm like, no, we didn't like it. So yeah. So while all this back and forth was going on, with booking an apartment and all of that, mind you, before we went to view these 2 apartments, Obi got links to a realtor from one of these landing groups and all of that probably helped that person to find a place. So Obi reached out to them, and you guys, that was where we received the most blow regarding our actual reality after we landed. You guys, this realtor went ahead to tell us, you're new, you don't have this, you don't have that. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to, what did she even say? She said she was going to help open up a file for us, help us apply to 10 places, and if they are on all of these 10 places reject us, then she'll close our files, and that will be it. And she went ahead to say that also she doesn't have that time to be driving around town and doing a viewing or showing us places, that whatever she says it's okay, but I have to take her word for it. And also because she's not really making anything from, you know, rent, helping us to find a place, like a 1 bedroom, da 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 da. You guys, one, the approach just shocked me, and like telling me that I have to just trust you. I mean, just out of nowhere, I find your number, and then you're telling me you're not even going to show me anyway. You're not going. Who does that? The moment I heard that on the phone, I was like, I beg, I didn't even want this woman. But Obi did not just cancel her out. We still went ahead, you know, to allow them to open a file for us and all of that. They were helping us to find a place. They sent us a link. Through that link, we were able to see a lot of places and pick the ones that we wanted and send it to them for them to help us apply. By the time they were ready to start helping us to apply, most of these places were already taken. We had to search again. We're doing all of this while also doing our own independent hunt for an apartment. And you guys, that is one thing you should do. Even though you have a realtor that is actively helping you to look for a place, do not put all your eggs in one basket. You have to also make sure you do your independent house hunt. Tell friends and, you know, acquaintances around and tell them that you're looking for a space so that they can also be on the lookout. You guys, you will need as many options as possible as new immigrants. Just as even the house owners or the landlords, they have many people applying to their houses. You also need to have many places where you are applying to, so that rejections will definitely quickly lead to an acceptance. After we went downtown and viewed the place that I said looks like Mushin, you guys, immediately, and then the way that person was talking, the person that showed us the place was like, this place, if you're interested, he advises that go ahead and apply, put in an application as soon as possible, because this is a case of first come, first serve. And also, to apply to any apartment, you need to pay like an initial deposit of $750, and that is an amount that you put down just so that they know that you're very interested. You are very, very much interested in that apartment. It's like a commitment, so that, you know, if your application gets approved and you default, maybe you now eventually say, oh, you don't want the place again, so that they will not have wasted their time, you will have to forfeit it. That's like their own damages for their time, you know. And also because of they closed the doors to every other applicant just so that they can go through your own application. So it's not like an assurance that you're going to get the place. It's just so that they can suspend, you know, checking out other, taking other applications, and, you know, concentrate on your own application as a prospective tenant. So the guy went ahead and told us that you have to hurry up if you're interested in this place. And mind you, in our mind, we're not interested in this place. You guys can see the place. It's not very nice. The environment is just whack. I didn't show so much of the environment because I didn't know if that was what we would end up taking. Because like I told you guys, we did not have much of a choice at that time. So I didn't want to show too much of the area because I felt, what if this was the place that I end up staying at, right? For security reasons. So after we saw that place, and this agent or this person was also working for the same agency that was supposed to show us, you know, the first place, the actual place that we eventually applied for, which of course we are now living in. So they were the ones also in charge of that apartment, and that apartment was very beautiful. Never lived in before, and around the same price as every other thing that we've been seeing. Like, it's just crazy. That's why you need to be patient. So it's the same price as every other thing that we've been seeing, and we decided that we're going to apply for that now. Yes. If you notice, guys, if you've been watching the vlog, you notice that I wasn't talking too much about our application for the house and all of that. That was because I was just doing it with one mind. You guys, I was scared, but I was hopeful at the same time. You know, when you're hoping for the best, but you're almost like expecting the worst. That was my situation at that time that we applying for the house. So when we went ahead and put up an application for the space that we did not physically see, and that was the place we got approved for, you guys. After approval, they asked to send in all the documents, the stated documents and all of that, which we did, and eventually, guys, here we are. You guys, here we are. An absolute dream. We are in our apartment. Yes, it's a condo apartment, you guys. Remember, I said we had given up hopes of ever living in a place like this because the reality that hit us at that time, what everybody was telling us and all of that, just gave up on it. Now I'm going to, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how we were able to get what I felt helped us to secure this space. I'm going to let you guys know at the end, towards the end of the video. I'm really trying so hard not to make this video so long, guys. Please bear with me because there's a lot to say. I'm now going to be sharing with you some of the tips or some of the lessons to be learned from our experience so far. Number one, you just landed in Canada, and one of these two scenarios will definitely be your case. The first is you land in Canada while already having a job waiting for you. I mean, like you already landed a job before landing in Canada or right before you start applying for an apartment. Or two, you just landed, you started applying for houses and you do not yet have gainful employment. Now, if the first scenario is your case, congratulations, guys. You do not know what the Lord has done for you. Now, your application process is going to be a lot more easier and there's a lot more hope for you if that is your scenario. Now, for the second scenario, the second case, you just landed, you're already applying to get an accommodation, but you do not yet have a job, not your spouse, you do not yet have a job. I'm so sorry, but it's not going to be very easy. I'm not a preacher of doom. I'm not an agent of bad news, because of course that second scenario was my case, and now look how we are. So there's hope for all of us, right? I mean, they have no choice. They have to give us a place to stay. One thing you want to do is make sure you are not pressed for time. Number one tip, make sure you are not pressed for time. Either of these two scenarios, you do not want to be looking for a place to stay and have very limited time, because that way you're going to be desperate and there's high likelihood of you falling prey of scammers. You guys, you don't want to get scammed of your hard-earned naira that you just converted into Canadian dollars, which almost looks like nothing. You don't want that to be the case. So given that I have had the experience of booking an Airbnb apartment for just 2 weeks to go for finding an moving to my apartment right after that, and I've seen that it's almost not that easy, usually that easy. Yes, we got our apartment before the expiration of our 12 days Airbnb stay, but the moving date was not favorable because we could not move. So we could not move right from our first Airbnb straight to the apartment. So we now had to rent another Airbnb, guys. So the money cost we were trying to cut, we eventually spent it, and even more because the second Airbnb was more expensive than the first. You want to make sure that you have a secure temporary accommodation that will last for a minimum of 2 weeks. If you even have the means, make it 1 month so that you take your precious time to apply to houses. I mean, it's somewhere that you're going to stay for at least 1 year, so you want to make sure that it's a very, very comfortable space for you and your family. So make sure you rent a temporary accommodation for a minimum of 3 to 1 month. So that way, you're rest assured that you're not going to be doing any stress of carrying your bags and moving to another apartment, or even spending those extra coins, extra dollars to rent another apartment. You guys, it was not just the money that was the stress, the stress of carrying how many bags from one place, booking an Uber and going to another place. You guys, you don't want to do that to yourself. That was one request that we had, and I don't want you to do the same mistake. So make sure you get an apartment that's kind of an accommodation for at least the first 3 weeks of your stay before you get it. I don't know what number we're at. So the next tip is you want to, I think I mentioned this before, you want to search. You want to make sure you have as many options as possible. Even though you're working with some realtors, you want to make sure that you are doing your own independent search. I think I mentioned that. Do your research, you guys. You do not want to start the process of applying, finding documentation for a particular house that might end up being a scam. You guys, you do not want to waste your time, and you do not want to lose your money. So make sure you do your research. Make sure if it's a realtor, try and search them out online to know if they are credible or not. Do not pay without having seen the place. Now, we've heard of cases whereby people got scammed, that oh yes, they saw videos, they saw pictures, but it ended up being a scam. So please, you want to be careful. If at all you're going to be paying for a place without seeing it, make sure that you've done your credibility search tickets. And mind you guys, I'm talking from experience. There's no amount of credibility check you will do. Your ads will be doing keep up. So please, you do not want to give yourself that stress. The next tip I'll be sharing is, if you have any doubt, make sure you confirm from people that have been here for longer, people that have gone through the same ordeal as you. Make sure you confirm with them. While we were applying for this place, some of the things they were asking us, I think they were asking us for our permanent PR number or something like that. We did not have it up until now. We've not received our PR card. So I was thinking, what's the closest to that? So I was almost going to send them our SIN number, but because we've heard that your SIN number is completely confidential, so I had to go run that through my friend again and ask him, is it alright if I send my SIN? He was like, no, send this and this instead, which I did. So if you're in doubt, if something is clicking in your mind that maybe this is not supposed to be, then maybe that is not supposed to be. So always make sure that you confirm with people that have done it before. Now I'm going to go right into telling you guys some of the documents that we were requested that was requested from us, given our own scenario and our own situation. We landed Canada at the time that we were applying for this apartment. Neither of us had gotten a job, so what they usually need from you is your pay stub. If you're going to be two staying in the apartment, they will need, they want to know that you are going to be capable of paying the rent. They don't want on need basis, because the tenancy law favors the tenant over the landlord, and if they make the mistake of renting the house to somebody that on the long run will not be able to afford it, then it's going to be a loss to them. That is why they usually want to ask for all of these things. So they want to see your employment letter. Maybe you just recently got employed and you've not had been paid yet. They want to see your employment letter that will show how much you're going to be earning. That's either for one person, or if one person's income is enough, no problem. If it's big enough, then they might not need for the second applicant. But if you're two that's going to stay in, then you can just put your pay stub together and use that to apply your pay stub or your letter of employment. And also they want your credit score. Now it's always tricky when they're asking me for credit score and I only just landed yesterday. So if you do not have a credit score, then you just have to prove yourself. For that, you might have to just find more things to prove yourself. Maybe you can get a reference from your old landlord, yes, even if it's from your landlord from back home. If you can get that, please do add it. And if you have any side jobs and all of that brings you income, add it, just to show them that you can afford to pay your rent. Now in our own situation, we do not have jobs yet here in Canada, so we asked if it was okay to provide a guarantor, which the said was fine, and but guarantor was going to be asked to supply his pay stub and his credit score. However, the person that was going to stand as a guarantor for us did not yet have a credit score. Given that he did not have a credit score, he was asked to supply some other things, guys. Some things that I felt was so invasive, and I'm so grateful that he did not mind and he provided these things. They might ask you for this guarantor for your bank statement, your proof of rental payment, that you want to see how often and how regular is rent payment in his own place is, and all of that. So these were also things that we asked: our passport, the ID of the guarantor, signer. Your guarantor is your co-signer. I think those were all the things that we were asked to supply. And so these were all the things that we were required to submit, which we did. And also, I said I was going to give you the tea on what I felt made us to be able to secure the space. Now, there are two things. The first one is the cosigner, you guys. Our cosigner was a blessing, you guys. I keep saying that the reason why God brought him here was so that he can make this journey easy for me. Thank you so much. I'm sure you're watching, so thank you. And so the co-signer was one reason, like one major reason I feel like we were granted the space. And the second was the fact that we offered to pay a couple of months in advance. Now, we've heard somewhere, we got that tip. I don't know on whose channel we heard that, but it's a thing, guys. Since their fear is that you might not be able to pay in the coming months since you don't have a job, right? So we decided to tell them, hey, we understand your skepticism to rent us a space, given that we're newcomers, we do not yet have jobs and all of that, but we are willing to pay 2 months extra. Some people pay 6 months. I even heard one outrageous one that somebody paid 12 months, just to avoid all the ceremony of bring this, bring that. If you have that, by all means, your comfortability is very important. But we didn't have much. Usually, you'll be asked to pay your first and last month's rent. Now, mind you, we already paid $750 as the application fee. It's like an initial deposit of some sort. So that money would be, if we get the place, eventually that money would now go into our first month payment. So like whatever we will now pay eventually after being approved will be less of that $750 that we paid. So we offered to pay 2 months extra, that's in addition to the first and last month's rent. That means we paid 4 months in advance, guys. So when we said, oh, we're going to pay 4 months in advance, then I feel like those were the 2 major reasons why we got the place. And of course, because God directed us and made all these things available for us. So I feel like those were the reasons why we got this place, because it felt so unreal. Even for days after we started living here, I'm like, is this really happening? Am I really in this place? So guys, that's it for this video. I hope I covered everything and anything that can, be of help to you as a new immigrant who is seeking accommodation. If there's anything that I did not mention here, please feel free to ask in the comment section, and I'm going to answer to the best of my ability. And yeah, that's it for this video. Please do not forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you found it helpful, and please share the video to anybody that you think it might help as well. Also, leave me a comment in the comment section. I would really love to hear from you guys. What are your, if you've already gotten a place, what were the things that you encountered while searching for a house, for an apartment in Canada, you guys, because I know I experienced this firsthand. It's not easy at all. Let me know your experience. I would love to hear your different experiences in the comment section. Let us learn from one another. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.